You've been voting all week on the top racing headlines of the year, and we are here to present the winners. Welcome to a very special edition of This Week in Racing. Logan, Claudia, are you excited to take a trip down memory lane and find out who won our first ever This Year in Racing Awards?
So excited. It's been a crazy season. I can't believe it's over and we're talking about this already.
I know, it's gone by so fast, it's actually freaking me out, but I can't wait to hear what people say about this.
Yeah, we had 12 months, a lot of different races, a lot of different countries. We're kind of everywhere. It feels honestly like a big blur, but it'll be cool to walk through everything one by one. All right. Well, then with that, let's start with our first award, the Season Superstar of the Year, which is for racing veterans who excited us all year. There were a ton of votes against this, a lot of different nominees that were up for grabs here, but three of the honorable mentions that we should run through. Number one was Max Verstappen's comeback this year in F1. Number two is Robert Kubica with his Le Mans win. And lastly was back in F1 with Lando Norris coming back to win the World Drivers' Championship. I was surprised to see Lando didn't end up winning this, and Max as well. Both were pretty surprising to me.
Yeah, I'm surprised. Like my vote would have gone to Max, but it's also crazy to me that Lando's considered like seasoned now. Like he's no longer, 19 years old, which is crazy.
It is kinda crazy, like, I just think back to, like, him doing his funny little, like, videos with Carlos Sainz at McLaren, like, not wanting to eat fish and whatever else was, like, weird, and so he seems like such a little kid, so I can't believe his name is, like, beside Ayrton Senna and Michael Schumacher and stuff on that trophy now.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
crazy.
Mhm.
Did you see the Sky Sports interview with him, like way back in the day when he was just starting at McLaren and they were just talking to him about I think it was a test drive, if I'm not mistaken, but just feedback on the car and how he felt. And he looked like a child.
Yeah. No, he
Who
was
was a
so
child, but
yeah.
Fair enough. But he was like, for how he spoke, all of that. I mean, these guys, the way that they're all media trained, it's pretty incredible because you think about how you talked when you were that age. I mean, you couldn't put me in front of anyone with a camera. You
Think of
still can't.
how we talk now, guys. Like, we should not be in front of the camera, but anyways, we are.
Yeah. What about Robert Kubica? Because the Le Mans win was something. Seeing that, and again, we had people. Anyone who voted could have written in any nominee that they wanted, and there were a lot of people that supported Robert and what he achieved. And I hadn't known really as much of the story that was going on. So reading up on the meaning, the significance of him pulling that off. Obviously, I hadn't known about the injury, but everything else, it was really impressive.
It was very impressive. I think it was a well-deserved win. It felt like a long time coming sort of thing, and it was one of those ones where nobody was gonna be mad if he was the one that did win the race. I mean, he came off, like, a huge injury that he had a couple years ago, back when he was racing in F1 with Williams, and so it's amazing to see just how far he's come. I mean, people thought he wouldn't be able to drive ever again, and now he is here winning one of the most prestigious races in the racing world, so it's amazing.
I know, pretty big deal to be able to turn it around like that. So really happy that he got to experience that. Like so amazing to see him win.
All right. Well, then it's time to reveal the winner for the season superstar of the year. And the award goes to Alex Palou's near perfect IndyCar season. All right. This one, what do you want to do? You want to clap? Yeah. This one, yeah. I mean, I guess when you look back at it and you think about all the people who really stood out this year, he had a 47% win rate on the year. He had only 3 races where he wasn't in the top 5 the entire season. His Indy 500 win and being there and watching his family shaking, his pit crew shaking as he was nearing the final lap. Yeah, I don't think you could ask for a better year as a driver, period. So congrats to Alex.
The next category is Breakout Racer of the Year. And I think the winner here might surprise everyone, but we've got a couple honorable mentions to go through. Robert Schwartzman, Indy 500 rookie pole, pretty insane. Like nobody saw that coming. I mean, Greg, you were there, which is also like wild to have witnessed that.
Yeah, the team was losing their minds to say the least. Like having had a rough start to the year, trying to figure out their footing in IndyCar, being new to the sport, and then to have that happen and to happen for a rookie who had never raced on an oval before. Like talk about like the perfect story and Robert watching him get consumed by the media, like he didn't even know what hit him when he crossed the finish line and finished with the pole because he was up till all hours of the night on media calls. He was getting run shepherded around like some. I mean, he was a hero of the weekend. Like it was pretty cool to see.
It's also like, yes, he was a rookie, and yes, maybe Robert Schwartzman himself, no one would think that he would be in contention, but also Prema. Prema was not anywhere near the front of the pack for like the majority of the season. And so it was crazy to see that at the most insane race on their calendar, he was able to
Yeah.
put up a performance like that.
I know. I feel like I still don't really understand how the poll happened. Like, no one saw that coming. And it was just like a very surprising moment, but huge for him and a great way to kick off his IndyCar career. Next, we have Kimi Antonelli being the youngest driver to claim an F1 pole position. This was also crazy. Like, I couldn't imagine being 18 years old and like making this happen and having to deal with all the attention and also in your rookie year of F1 is insane.
I feel like it was the moment for Toto too that it was like, okay, yes, like our decision, our risk of a choice has just finally paid off. So yeah, and I think it's a true testament just like to Kimmy's skill as well. I think he's been questioned a lot this season.
And for icing on the cake for Toto, this is the first rookie the team's brought in since 1954. Misha wrote a wonderful piece on this and outlining the thought process and what goes into it and why Kimmy was special in Toto's book. And to be able to think that for such a tenured team and for so long in the sport and to have this be the one that they took the bet on and the bet paid off, I'm sure Toto was over the moon.
Another honorable mention here is Martina Grail's historic Sail GP win. This is something we covered as well and was a pretty special moment. So great mention. Okay. Are we ready for the winner of the Breakout Racer of the Year category?
Yes, please.
It was Isaac Hadra's podium at the Dutch Grand Prix. I feel like everyone loved to see this. So exciting to see like rookies on the podium and really being successful this year. Well deserved. Before we move on to the next category, there's still one more thing you can vote for before the year ends. We want to know, what was your favorite racing series in 2025? Was it F1, IndyCar, IMSA, NASCAR? Place your votes in, and while you're there, if you're enjoying content like this, don't forget to subscribe.
All right. The next category is the that just happened moment of the year, which is for the wildest, most unbelievable on or off track moment across any series. So we have a couple honorable mentions as well, of course, before we get to the winner. The first one would be Denny Hamlin's championship loss. I mean, we covered this in real time, like right after it happened, and it was just brutal to see. It was so sad. He was so close. He had such a solid season, and it really came down to what seems to be like a flaw in kind of NASCAR's system. And so it definitely felt like he was robbed of it. Obviously, we're very happy that Kyle Larson was able to win that as well, and he deserved it, but so did Denny. So that one was a tough one. That was a tough moment this season for sure.
Yeah, this one had my vote. Very regrettable to see, though. He did get some vindication getting the lawsuit to getting NASCAR to settle in their lawsuit. So, half congrats to Denny, I guess.
The next one is Helmut Marko leaving Red Bull. So that one definitely was a little bit more recent. It was announced right after the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. This one honestly really surprised me. I feel like I was more surprised for Helmut leaving than I was when Christian was announced to be leaving. Um, I think, again, we've covered this and it was kind of a little bit of a not an if, more of a when it was going to happen situation, but it still was surprising. I mean, he played such a large role in that team. And so I don't know. I think it means good things for the team coming into the 2026 season. I think hopefully is right. I think Isaac might actually break the curse. Maybe the curse was just Dr. Marco, but anyways, that was an honorable mention. And then the last one would be Nico Hulkenberg's podium at the Miami Grand Prix.
I'll never forget the video of his daughter and like his wife reacting to it. It was so cute. I'm so happy that he got that. Like, I don't know where the car will be next year, but I'm super glad he got to have his first podium experience in 2025.
And then we've got our winner. So the winner of the that just happened moment of the year is McLaren's double disqualification in Las Vegas. I think everyone's jaws dropped when we got that notification. That was insane, especially after the race that they had, and at the point of the season it was in, it really evened out the playing field going into Abu Dhabi and everything like that into the last race, and it was just a crazy, crazy mess up by McLaren that no team should be doing when they have 2 drivers who are fighting for the championship win. So that was a crazy moment. It felt like a glitch in the simulation.
I mean, I feel like it would've been kind of entertaining to see, Lando win with slightly less stress, especially after how boring Abu Dhabi was. But I agree. I think that was just such a crazy, unbelievable moment that they would make such a mistake in such a critical time, especially after all of the other mistakes that they've made this year.
Yeah.
Like, I'm still mind blown that they've gotten away with both championships. So, unforgettable.
All right, well, changing gears to the thing that I know nothing about, the pop culture overtake of the year. There were 3 honorable mentions that all were super fun to watch in their different ways. The first was my favorite, the Weenie 500 at the Indy 500. Talk about a surprise seeing a bunch of hot dogs raced down the track, but if you know me, I love hot dogs, and seeing them come to life was like a childhood dream come true. Yeah, that was special.
Yeah, that was a really well done spectacle, to say the least, and I'm so glad that, like, all of the fans, all the like, the drivers loved seeing it, that was a lot of fun. Seeing, like, everybody on social media react to it, the Fox crew commentating it, like, it was, like, literally the best moment.
Yeah, and another one that you both loved, especially, was the Charles Leclerc and Carlos Sainz renting a van after Baku and their little road trip on social media.
We loved that. Claudia and I watched that video so many times. It was just so funny seeing 2 people who just came off of a Formula 1 Grand Prix, which is, like, one of the most prestigious sporting things that they could ever do, and it felt like they were, like, little kids who were backpacking across Europe, renting a van, like, trying to get home, and they were just having the time of their lives too. Like, it just seemed like they were really enjoying it, which was heartwarming to see.
I know, it's just, like, so funny to envision F1 drivers trying to rent a car, like, at the airport. Couldn't even imagine, and I'm pretty sure the woman that, like, rented them the car had no idea who they were or the van. Like, they were just like, "Yep," she had no idea.
Yeah. I think everyone was happy to see Charles and Carlos back together again as
Yeah.
well, the former Ferrari teammates. So that was really cute. It's always nice to see the friendships kind of manifest off of a race weekend or like off of the grid and just see who actually gets along and stuff. That's always nice because it is such a small cohort that they're together like 24 weekends out of a year. It's nice to know that they sometimes do get along when they're not fighting on track.
Sometimes.
Sometimes.
Yep. Well, speaking of getting along, there was the other honorable mention, which was the Lego race in Miami. And to your point, Logan, that was exactly what it felt like watching this. The different camera angles of all the drivers ramming into each other and breaking these Lego cars as they did the lap around the track. Like I was cracking up. Lewis was into it. Everyone was having fun with this one.
No, that was hilarious. Watching those videos on Instagram and seeing all of them kind of post separate moments from it was so funny too. Like, it was hilarious seeing the driver and then the passenger was, like, their personal cameraman, and, yeah, it seems like kids, it made me wanna get in a Lego car and, like, drive around too. I loved it, and it was the perfect promo for Lego. Like,
Yeah.
that's how you market something.
But the one that took it all the way home, the winner of the Pop Culture Overtake of the Year was none other than the F1 movie, which, unless you lived under a rock, had your ears covered, your eyes covered, you would have seen this thing. It was everywhere. It's one of what? It's Brad Pitt's second most or number one most highest grossing film he's ever been a part of. This thing was over the top in every dimension. The visuals were really cool, and it was amazing to see the people of the paddock that you watch week in, week out pop up as not like cameos effectively in this whole racing world. It was really cool to watch.
Yeah, it was so much fun to just see all the hype. Like, I forget that it didn't just come out, 2 weeks ago. Like, it's now on Apple TV, but really exciting to feel all of the anticipation that came from, like, all the creators and the drivers and Lewis talking about it up until the big launch, and then seeing it in theaters was a lot of fun. Okay, and for our last category, we've got the peak F1 drama story of the year. There were lots of great answers that came out of this one, but a couple extra honorable mentions. Lewis Hamilton's first season with Ferrari. Obviously, this was like nonstop drama every single weekend.
The stats that he set this year are the worst possible stats any driver would ever want to set. Like being the first driver to be eliminated in Q1 in back-to-back race weekends for
Wow.
Ferrari specifically. That's crazy. And the fact that Lewis Hamilton's name is tied to that is just appalling. So, yeah, I hope he has a better season.
And he was in a Ferrari. Like, it wasn't like he was,
Mhm.
in a Nico Hulkenberg car, which, by the way, got a podium. But, anyways,
Yeah.
very good honorable mention. We've also got Carlos Sainz triple podium with Williams. Carlos didn't see this coming. I don't think any of us saw this coming. James Vowles certainly did. I don't think Lewis Hamilton saw this coming. But what a year it was for Carlos Sainz.
It was so deserved. I feel like out of every single driver, he is the one that, again, no driver and no fan is going to be mad if he's on the podium, especially in a Williams, especially how it kind of felt like he was done dirty a bit leaving Ferrari because obviously Lewis Hamilton was coming in. And so no one expected Williams to be as good a spot for him. And here he is getting 3 podiums out of the year, and Lewis Hamilton didn't get a single one. And I've said this once and I'll say it again, but he is still technically the last Ferrari driver to get a podium. Like, that's insane. So Ferrari needs to sort themselves out.
We also had rookie musical chairs between the Red Bull, V-Carb, and Alpine seats. There was a lot of movement, especially in the beginning of the year. I think we settled in at the end there, but crazy that Jack Durham started the season in F1 and he's no longer here. Like, almost forgot that that happened, which just shows you how much was packed into this year.
Yeah, there was so much at risk. I feel like Franco was on thin ice at one point where they were saying he's only got 6 races and then Jack's gonna come back in, and if it's not Jack, then who knows who it could be? Like Paul Aaron maybe, I don't know, but it just was seeming ridiculous. I mean, I think people were thinking that maybe Yuki was gonna get dropped and there was gonna be a mid-season swap between him and Isaac at one point. It was just absurd. It was like you couldn't even keep count. So I'm happy for them that it kind of settled a little bit near the end, but still, it's crazy to have that many switches.
Yeah. You know who's probably not happy about this is Lewis, because then the storyline became all about Lewis and the underperformance versus the rookies who kept messing up at the beginning and crashing out.
I know. The rookies
Yeah.
literally outperformed the 7-time world champion.
It
Yeah.
was also like
One
the first year we finally got to see Yuki in a Red Bull and maybe the last. So that was tough. And for the winner of the peak F1 drama story of the year, I think this comes to no one's surprise. It is Papaya Rules. I think a word that will traumatize generations to come. Uh, Crazy moment that was unforgettable and truly peak drama, like absolute cinema, that one.
Yeah. I feel like maybe Brad Pitt is kicking himself and wishing that he just filmed this entire season rather than making a whole made up storyline because it was unbelievable some of the things that we witnessed this year. I feel like it was insane. Papaya Rules was crazy. I can't even believe that that was a plot that happened.
This would be the stuff you threw in ChatGPT and said, like, make up a season that goes horribly wrong. And then this is the stuff that comes out and you go, this isn't realistic. And then every single one of the pieces played out.
Yeah,
Like, why would they use the term papaya rules? Like, they could have really come up with anything else that sounded less absurd.
I
To
know.
be fair, this was like would have been putting it on t-shirt. I'm sure people have it on t-shirts from the start of the season and everyone was all gung ho about it. And then when it started becoming one of these very depressing situations where either Oscar was looked like he's gonna cry or Lando looked like he was gonna cry, and everyone's like, all right, never mind. This is a bad idea.
Yeah, it was brutal. I bet you it was Zach Brown's idea. I mean, he's
It was
coming
definitely Zach Brown's idea.
Yeah. Cheesy one-liners like, "Lando, is this the world champion hotline?" Oof. Like, that was brutal. So,
Oh, I can't.
yeah, I don't know, but it was definitely his idea, and that's got Mr. Brown written all over it, but I hope they don't we better not hear Papaya Rules at all next season.
Ever again.
All right. Well, that's it for our 2025 This Year in Racing Awards. Be sure to comment below with your favorite moments from 2025. Go vote on the poll and tell us which series you loved. And while you're there, consider becoming a channel member so that you can get early access to videos like this throughout next year, bonus clips like our breakdown of our top social moments from this past year, and so much more. Thanks as always for the support, and we can't wait to see you next year.